After watching Empresses in the Palace 800 times, I always feel someone's out to frame me. So on the first day of my transmigration, I bribed over half the household servants overnight. My stepmother, who wanted to smear my name, had barely opened her mouth when she was accidentally knocked down by the dozen burly maids I'd just hired. She tumbled and rolled, falling 7 or 8 times, even chipping her front teeth. The next day, I turned my husband's courtyard upside down. Even the 10-year-old buried treasure from the previous dynasty under his yard's fake mountain was dug up by me. My husband, who wanted to control me through the treasury, turned green with rage. From then on, for 3 years in the Marquis Mansion, I countered every move, out-schemed everyone's schemes, until the Black Lotus cousin, the reborn protagonist of the novel, moved into the mansion. Sister, I heard the lotus flowers in the lake center have bloomed. Shall we go to Fanzhou together to admire them? She pitifully invited me boating, trying to pull the same old trick, the scheme from her past life where she'd drown and then accuse me of ruining her reputation, so my husband would divorce me. But as she pulled my sleeve and we both fell into the water, before she could even show a terrified expression, she landed squarely on solid ground. Cousin Xiao Billion lay sprawled on the ground, her carefully styled hair bun tilted to one side, her face full of disbelief. What the hell? Are you crazy? Whose lake has no water in it? Places like lakes are too accident-prone. Either you push me or I push you. Falling in never ends well. Hey, cousin, are you okay? I kindly reached out to help her up, but Xiao Billion looked as if she'd seen a ghost, scrambling backward to get away. The maids behind her hurried forward to support her, but accidentally stepped on her hem, causing her to fall again. Ha ha ha. Xiao Yuner, it's finally the wind's turn. Xiao Billion had just stood up when she stumbled again, landing face first and eating a mouthful of mud. Behind me, my 20 burly maids covered their mouths, stifling their laughter. Oh dear, cousin, are you all right? Ahaha, red dust drunk Marquis. This is for your own good, you know. What if cousin had fallen in? Her wet clothes would be all over the rumor mill, and that wouldn't be good for the Marquis' reputation. Future people lop for lop's sake. La 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 la. You're ruthless. But in the end, he only gritted out a few words, then turned and left with a flick of his sleeve, not even giving Xiao Billion a second glance. Xiao Billion stood frozen in place, her feigned weakness and grievance solidifying on her face. She probably never expected that in Gu Yenji's heart, a fish was more important than her. I walked over to her, patted her shoulder, and said earnestly, Cousin, don't bother looking. He's just worried about money. After all, on my first day here, I dug up all the private savings he'd hidden for 10 years. He's dead broke now. Wawa coconut. Xiao Billion, probably realizing physical attacks were useless on me, switched to chemical warfare. She personally made delicate lotus-shaped pastries and brought them to my courtyard. Sister, I made these myself. Try them, they have calming and mind-soothing effects. She smiled warmly and gently, but her eyes gleamed with poisoned light. In harem conflict novels, pastries personally delivered like this are almost always spiked. Cousin, you're so thoughtful. These pastries look delicious. But my hand changed direction mid-air, handing the pastries to a pig behind me. That was a pricey jade tribute pig I bought. Right now, it was wearing a pink little vest, grunting and looking at me. Sister, what do you mean by this? I recently found a divine doctor to regulate my health. He said I have a special constitution and can't eat just anything. The mansion has specially assigned a poison tester for me. See, it's him. If the piggy's fine after eating, then I can eat. Since sister is unwell, I won't disturb you further. Cousin, you went to all this trouble. Here's some tea money. Don't send any more. Look at my yard, chickens, ducks, and this pig. They're picky eaters. They might not like it. After she left, I looked at the lively piggy and patted its head with satisfaction. This pig wasn't ordinary. From the time it was weaned, I fed it all kinds of detoxifying herbs. Common poisons were lice snacks to it. Every year, your past self saw the summer clear pill. You fed my priceless ink orchid from my study to the pig? Marquis, that flower was in your study. What if someone sprinkled something on it and harmed you? Piggy tasted it for you. It's non-toxic and safe. What sin did I commit in my past life? What sin did I commit in my past life? What do you take the Marquis mansion for? A farmhouse? Marquis, this is called an ecological loop, self-sufficient, safe, and healthy. And it saves money. I never knew you had such spirit. He bribed a young servant from the outer courtyard to write a heartfelt love letter, planning to stuff it under my pillow, then lead the Marquis and stepmother to catch me red-handed. The plan was perfect. Too bad he was up against me. Ah. How dare you, a lowly servant, trespass into the mistress's bedroom? Seems like a peach blossom affair. Sleep, I'll put the child to sleep. Help. Someone's trying to harm the mistress. Help. An assassin sent a secret letter to the lady. Look at the red dust and pear blossoms flying, ha ha ha. Gu Yenji also arrived with a grim face. Xiao Bilian followed behind, her face pale. She clearly hadn't expected things to blow up this big. Peach blossom chat. Marquis, look, this is the assassin's secret letter. Move aside, Huir Xiao Yuner. It's finally the wind's turn. What does this say? Let me see my willow waist. In this peach blossom paradise, oh, bouncing and hopping, this is well written. I return too early, swaying. La 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 la, here it comes. Head Steward Wang, the old eunuch in charge of the palace's purification room, over 60, with a wrinkled face. His smile looks like a chrysanthemum. Oh my, Head Steward Wang really is something. At his age, still so passionate and unrestrained. Ha ha ha. Who put you up to this? Fluttering willow catkins drift past the sky's edge. It was this servant's own idea, causing trouble. Cousin, mother, it's all my fault. I failed to discipline my servants strictly, leading to this absurdity. Please punish me. Enough, stop acting. Fluttering willow catkins, heh, laugh. Xia Qingwan, is there anything normal in this courtyard? Well, my bed is made of 1,000-year-old jade. It's solid underneath. No one can hide in it, nor can anything be hidden. All my jewelry boxes have no secret compartments. The books I read are all blank, not a single word in them. Everything sent into my courtyard goes through triple inspection. Oh, and, to prevent anyone from forging my handwriting to frame me, I haven't touched a pen in 3 years. All letters are written by my maids. And I use a different person each time. You. Don't you get tired living like this? Not really. I'm used to it. Living is what matters most. Xiao Bilian finally played her trump card. She lured me to a secluded pavilion, dismissed the attendants. Spring has bloomed, flowers smile, and pulled out an exquisite jade pendant from her bosom. Engraved with the character Yen. She said, he married you only for your Xia family's military power, for the stability of the Marquis mansion. The person in his heart has always been me. Xia Qingwan, you've taken a position that isn't yours. Don't you feel ashamed? I looked at her without anger. without sadness. I even felt like laughing. In harem conflict novels, this is indeed the ultimate move to drive a wife crazy. The husband's betrayal, the childhood sweetheart's true love. It would be enough to break any ancient woman. Too bad I'm not one. What are you doing? Calculating. You just said the Marquis's heart has always been with you, right? That means, since I married him 3 years ago, he's been emotionally cheating. This has caused me immense emotional distress. To guard against your traps, I spent 32,000 on bribing servants, 52,000 on renovating the courtyard, 8,200 on raising those chickens, ducks, and pigs, and 102,000 for emotional damages. All these are extra expenses incurred because of you. I flicked the last abacus bead, looked up, and gave her a kind smile. All in all, that's 188,200 total. Since you're his beloved, this money should naturally come from you. Here's the bill. Take a look, silver or banknotes. What do you want? You're crazy. He's not crazy. Ha, paper, southern mountains, flowers blooming on branches. The accounts are clear, well organized, and correct. Xiao Billion. My marriage to Gu Yenji was always a transaction. She gives me the Xia family's support, and I give her the position and protection of the Marquis lady. This is a contract. My personal feelings have nothing to do with this contract, but your existence made him pay extra costs to fulfill the contract. This money really should come from you. Ah. No, that's not how it is. That's not how the Shitari goes. She held the rebirth script. She was the chosen one. But she walked into a cold, business negotiation scene. And I was the ruthless client holding the evaluation form. She didn't even qualify to be a concubine, just a non-performing asset to be liquidated. Xiao Billion's worldview took an unprecedented hit. She fell ill. It was said she lay in bed for 3 days, not eating or drinking. Her stepmother was frantic, calling in countless doctors, all saying it was a heart ailment. Heart ailments need heart medicine. So her stepmother set her sights on the Marquis mansion's finances, which I controlled. She allied with a few stewards in the mansion who were dissatisfied with me, and started spreading rumors that I was spending lavishly, draining the mansion's resources dry. Suddenly, the mansion was in a panic. Several distant relatives with connections also came knocking. Shaking peaches, the plantains have turned green. Tonight, well, we're not saying you don't need to be thrifty. But the Marquis mansion is a big establishment. You can't just burn through money like this. Alright, everyone, say less. Sister, I know you didn't mean it. It's just that you're not familiar with the mansion's expenses yet. How about handing the Otsao books over to Mother first, so she can help you see the burden? Debt, madam. Just hand them over to the madam. As soon as she said that, everyone chimed in agreement. Gu Yenji sat beside me, expressionless, unreadable. He didn't help me, nor did he kick me while I was down. It seemed he was waiting for my reaction. I set down my teacup and looked around at these so-called relatives. You say I've spent all the mansion's money? Madam, that carpet you bought cost 102,000. It's all recorded in the accounts. Then do you know why I bought that carpet? Because the third prince of Bosu has severe mysophobia, and is obsessed with this kind of gold thread velvet. He's coming to the capital next month to negotiate border trade between our two countries. I used that carpet to secure a private meeting with him. The annual profit from the trade will be at least 10 times that amount. I held up one finger. Everyone was stunned. Then you say I raise pigs. That pig is a tribute jade pig. There are only a few in the entire Daliang dynasty. The empress's niece dreams of having one. I gave her one of Piggy's piglets in exchange for the deed to the land east of the city. You say I bribe servants. Those servants are now my eyes and ears all over the capital. Which official likes what? Which lady dislikes what? Which young master owes gambling debts? I know it all. How much do you think this information is worth? With every word I spoke, their faces grew paler. My stepmother and Xiao Bilian's smiles completely froze. They thought I was fooling around and wasting money, but they didn't know I was playing a much bigger game. I was never playing at harem conflicts. This was business warfare. As for what you said about me draining the mansion's resources, here's the financial report for last quarter. See the red dust? No. Before I took over, the mansion's annual income was 52,000 and expenses were 48,200, barely breaking even. After I took over, by optimizing procurement channels, cutting redundant staff, and developing new revenue streams, the mansion's net profit last quarter was 202,000, and that doesn't include the investments I made with my own dowry. Ha ha ha. Marquis, am I right? That's right. Actually, he only undercounted by 30%. You said the accounts show I spent 100,000, right? I recall the mansion's procurement has always been your responsibility. I had the accounts checked. That carpet, the Bosu merchant quoted 82,000, but you reported 102,000. Where did that extra 22,000 go? Madam, spare me. Madam, spare me. Mother, this steward is your man. How do you think we should handle this? The plantains have turned green. Look at the wind blowing through the night, rustling. The head has hung up new reds. From today on, I plan to establish a Marquis Mansion Development Fund. Everyone here can invest with silver. At the end of the year, dividends will be paid according to shares. I guarantee a return rate at least 20 times that of depositing money in a bank. No way. Qingwan, is this true? Then, how do we invest? First, clean out the mansion's pests. Then we'll talk cooperation. In an instant, everyone's gaze shifted. The way they looked at my stepmother and Xiao Bilian was no longer as relatives, but as obstacles to their wealth. Ha ha ha, when a wall falls, everyone pushes it. When a tree falls, the monkeys scatter. My stepmother and Xiao Bilian were completely isolated. Xiao Bilian watched this dramatic scene, her body swaying as if about to collapse. She probably finally understood that the methods of winning people over in harem conflict novels were utterly fragile in the face of absolute profit. Xiao Bilian lay low for a long time. She locked herself in her courtyard, never stepping out. As if she had accepted her fate. My stepmother was also stripped of her power, and could only chant sutras in her small Buddhist hall every day, posing no threat to me. Under my management, the mansion's business flourished, and money poured in. Gu Yenji's gaze toward me shifted from initial annoyance to admiration and dependence. He no longer interfered in any household matters, and even consulted me on some court decisions. I felt our relationship wasn't like husband and wife, but more like partners. I was very satisfied with this, just when I thought things would stay peaceful. Xiao Bilian struck again. This move was like a nuclear weapon in harem conflict novels. Pregnant? I am your. On a dark, windy night, she successfully climbed into Gu Yenji's bed. I don't know the details. Only that the next morning, Gu Yenji came out of her courtyard with a dark face, went straight to his study, and didn't show his face all day. Dust and trouble. 2 months later, news of Xiao Bilian's pregnancy spread throughout the mansion. She finally stood tall again. A mother's status rises with her child. This was the unbreakable truth of the era. She began to intentionally stroke her belly in front of me, her eyes full of provocation and gloating. Sister, the doctor says my pregnancy is very stable. It might be a boy. If I can give the mansion its firstborn son, it would be a small token of my gratitude as your sister. Oh my, congratulations, cousin. Trying to use a child against me? Xiao Bilian, you're still too naive. I immediately ordered the construction of a pregnancy retreat in the most scenic eastern part of the mansion. The retreat was built with the best materials, designed for comfort and safety. All windows were reinforced, unopenable from the outside. The walls were raised by 3 feet, and topped with broken porcelain shards. I hired 4 of the most experienced midwives from the palace, and found the best gynecologist in the capital, on 24-hour rotating shifts. All food and supplies sent in underwent triple inspection, and secretly Trek. Cousin is precious, and carries the mansion's hope. There must be no mistakes. From today on, Cousin will stay in the retreat to rest peacefully. No one is to disturb her. Det, madam. This way, please. When Xiao Billion was escorted into the retreat by a group of matrons, her face was dark. She had hoped to use the pregnancy to throw her weight around. Or even set me up, staging a miscarriage to frame me. But I directly locked her in a 5-star prison. She wanted to see Gu Yenji. I refused, citing that pregnant women need rest and shouldn't see other men. She wanted to see her stepmother. I refused, saying her stepmother was devoted to Buddhism and shouldn't be bothered with worldly affairs. I blocked her every time. You, Xia Qingwan. You poisonous woman. You'll die a horrible death. Nail the windows shut. Cousin's emotions are unstable. It's bad for the fetus. Better avoid the wind from now on. 10 months of pregnancy, and finally labor. Xiao Billion's delivery was unusually smooth, because the Tim I prepared for her was the best in the capital. From her first contraction to the baby's birth, it took less than 2 hours. It was a boy, chubby and fair, with a loud cry. Xiao Billion held the baby, but her face showed no joy. She knew that as long as the child was in my hands, she had no chance of turning things around. She clutched the baby tightly, refusing to let anyone touch it. The midwives and maids were at a loss. Waste, still green, plantains. Cousin, you've worked hard, mother. Let me hold the baby. I am its legal mother. Don't you dare. This is my child. The mansion's firstborn son. As long as he's here, Cousin will have to acknowledge me. I will be the future mistress of this mansion. See the red dust and trouble. Come back and chat with the peach blossoms. Flakes of willow catkins drift by. See the red dust and trouble, peach blossoms see you, firstborn son Xiao Billion. Have you forgotten? 3 years ago, I went to war with my father and was injured. The imperial physician long declared that I can never have children. Come back to the peach blossoms. No, impossible. You're lying to me. How can this be? Qingwan, let's go. This place is unlucky. I looked back once. The baby in her arms was still crying loudly, but she was a soulless puppet. Her eyes hollow, motionless. I sighed softly. Actually, I had known for a long time whether Gu Yenji could have children. On our wedding night, I gave him a truth-telling potion. He spilled everything, all his secrets from childhood, including that trivial so-called lop history. He even confessed about his war injury that left him infertile. Tell your sister. So from the moment Xiao Billion said she was pregnant, I knew this play was over. She thought she had the winning hand, but I had flipped the table from the start. The child's father was quickly found, a young gardener who trimmed the plants in the back courtyard. Xiao Billion was confined to the retreat, and the only other man she could contact was him. It was said she approached him first, desperate to conceive a child of the mansion. She had stopped at nothing. When Gu Yenji found out, he was so furious he smashed his most precious inkstone in his study, not because he was cuckolded, but because he felt humiliated. Get rid of that adulterous pair. Cleanly. And the child? Send off the old dog and chicken companions. The farther they're sent, the better. Who's making a fuss? On the day Xiao Billion was dealt with, I went to see him one last time. He was locked in the woodshed. Hair disheveled, clothes filthy. Where was the former glory of the Black Lotus? Xia Qingwan, you win. Are you very pleased? I wouldn't say pleased. Just getting rid of a nuisance, haha. In my past life, I was the winner. I schemed to make you have an affair with another man. He personally imprisoned you in Julon. I became the Marchioness. He loved me all his life. We had children and grandchildren, a happy life. I was reborn. Just to make it all happen faster. But why? Why has everything changed? Can't sleep. Young Lu, because you're reading a harem novel, and I'm reading Das Kapital. You think you're conquering a man, while I'm running a company. Your world is only lop and infighting. My world is only profit and risk. Ah. Xiao Billion, you chose the wrong opponent from the start. I didn't explain further. I turned and left. Different paths, no common goals. He was lost in a fictional Shitari, unable to escape. I just wanted to hold on to my hard-won real life. Xiao Billion and that gardener were secretly sent out of the capital. Where they went, whether alive or dead, I didn't ask and didn't care. The stepmother, for instigating Xiao Billion and embezzling old accounts, was sent by Gu Yenji to the family temple, by the green lamp and ancient Buddha, to end her days. I moved my piggy and his chicken and duck friends from my small yard to the Ho Mansion's largest garden. I've opened several new trade routes. Business reaches overseas. The Ho Mansion's wealth snowballed, growing ever larger. Xia Qingwan, Marchioness of Yong'an, is a living god of wealth who turns stone to gold. The mortal world is chaotic. Tonight, let's go for a walk. What kind of person are you, really? Someone who wants to lie well, beyond the corner of the sky. Have you ever been well? You want money, I'll help you earn it. You want power, I'll help you get it. We're bound together. Better than being schemed against by others. Het Pai Cooperation, Marquis. Het Pai Cooperation, Madam. Outside the window, the moonlight was lie water. We, a man and woman bound by worldly ties, at this moment reached a strange harmony. No lop, no passion, only clear calculation and an unbreakable alliance of interests. I lie this feeling. It makes me feel safe. Days passed one by one, under the joint management of Gu Yenji and me. The Ho Mansion's power and wealth reached their peak. Even the emperor relied on us somewhat. Our business empire was unmatched. I hugged my little treasury. Looking at the ever-increasing numbers in the ledger, I felt this life was damn sweet. What is lop? Can you eat it? Is it as fragrant as making money? The end.